It's your man DJ Playboy back in the building with that big click energy, that big gig energy, fresh off the gig, back in the podcast world. And you know I don't like doing one without my dog, my partner, my guy, Keith. What's going on, brother?
What it do, man? I'm with that big toy energy. You see the zebra in the background. You know how I do it.
I gotta turn my ring light down. This shit blinding me. I'm looking light skinned as fuck on this
bitch. You gotta fuck around with your color saturations and stuff.
Right? I'm all up in this bitch. Yeah, man, fresh off the road. I'm still actually wearing a hoodie I just drove home in. You know what I mean? Like it's good, man. Did a gig yesterday, a wedding with Ayo Niche. That was good energy out there. Shout out to my peoples out there in Tuxedo, Harem in New York, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all.
Man, let's go.
Woodbury Commons, everybody know about that. No, life is good, man. Daughter's birthday tomorrow. We throwing a big party for today.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I won't sleep till Tuesday.
Where are you gonna do it, at the crib, at a place? Or?
I always let her moms handle the birthday. Everybody who don't know, me and her moms ain't together, but her mom handles the parties and stuff like that every birthday. So this year they throwing it out like a trampoline park.
Oh, that's dope. Wow. Okay.
Just going in tomorrow, we just we do our own thing with her. Just give her a crazy day, day of fun and shit after school, I guess.
Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, man, what's been good on your side? How your weekend been, brother?
Weekend's been good, man. It's been raining down here, so we just try to do the indoor thing. Went to the mall, did a little bit of shopping because when you don't have to go out to work, I don't go out like every weekend and shit like that. Like your closet gets raggedy real fast, but real covertly. Like you look inside, you should be like, yeah, I'd like to, like, for instance, next weekend's my anniversary. I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna wear for dinner? I'm like, man, all this shit is either raggedy or it don't fit. So I have to go out and buy some shit.
You got the quantity, so at a quick glance, you're like, I got shit.
Yeah, I got shit for every occasion. Well, it's a lot of shit. I'll be out there dressing like it's 2011 and shit, just rocking a Big Sean tour t-shirt when he was still 19 and shit.
These cameras are so high def now too. It'd be like all the fuzzy showing up on your shit.
Yeah.
Shit got the bacon neck and everything. Come on, you can't be out here like that. Man, what's new in this? Shout out to everybody you just said the rain for your neck of the woods. Shout out to everybody dealing with Hurricane Ian. And I think there was one right before that. We got people out in Florida. Shout out Bookstore Ricky. He checked and said he was okay, but I know not everybody was so lucky. A lot of flooding and all that shit. So definitely hold your head up and rest in peace to anybody that passed away and condolences. Hurricanes be scary, bro, because it like at quick glance, you be like, I could deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just rain. Yep. And then now you see them shit, you see the reports, you be like, nah, bro, that ain't the move.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's a lot of people who probably lived through a hurricane already or a tropical storm or something pretty severe. And they're like, yeah, why is everyone leaving? I'll just do the same thing again. Sandbags, yada, yada, yada. And all it takes is once, like one, maybe you're in the wrong spot or the wrong region or whatever. And then, or maybe your preparation was a little bit different, or maybe your walls just couldn't take it no more. And, but anybody who did make it, God bless them, blessings to them. Anybody who didn't, it's always a tough situation. I mean, up in the Northeast, you don't really get it like that. I think we had Hurricane Sally, but that was devastating because people we don't get natural disasters in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, and then some people they lost a lot.
Yeah, Sandy was crazy up here because I actually work in the Hurricane Sandy. I work in the area that got really hit hard when Hurricane Sandy hit just because of the way that the elevation is. It's kind of lower, so and it's right by a body of water, so they got flooded really badly. So just the other day we had like a crazy thunderstorm and we get a lot of like flash flooding up here. So just my drive home, I'm driving home. I'm like, guess I ain't going down that street. I guess I gotta go the long way because shit just look. I'm not, and then I got my car kind of lowered, so I'm like, I ain't going that way. Like, nah, bro. But as you see how fast it happens, I'm like, I was just at work. I just walked through the parking lot. Then over here is a fucking lake in the street. Like it takes seconds for the reservoir water start coming up out of this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you see people stuck on highways looking like a river.
Yeah, I remember you told me a story one time. You was like, can my Subaru do it? Yeah. should I be like the commercials?
Yo, that's what I was thinking about the commercial. Like, these motherfuckers telling the truth. I'm like, nah, U-turned and went back home. Because I used to live in Jersey City and everything's in Hoboken. Hoboken's like the city out here where all the hipsters be at, but there's also nice shopping and restaurants and all this type of shit. I was like, I want to pick up pizza, but the good pizza. So and it was a rainstorm, and Uber said, nah, we ain't even gonna try. So I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna just go pick it up. It's 15 minutes away. And there's like one or two ways out, like into the town and out of the town. And I'm like, the one way was all blocked up. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just eat some tuna fish.
Mother Nature, guys, fuck your whole schedule up, man.
Hell yeah.
What they say, well, you want to make God laugh, make some plans, man.
Exactly.
What happened recently to me this past? I'm trying to think. I got pulled over by the cops. My girl was driving the other day.
Damn.
Yeah, but she gonna be wild, bro, speeding. She's talking about this. Right before we got pulled over, she goes, "This car want to race." I'm like, I'm 51.
That's some Dave Chappelle shit.
I'm dead ass, bro. And I'm like, first of all, he would win. we in a sports car, we in an SUV, like calm down. And then literally like 20 seconds after she said that, we get pulled over. Cop come over to the car. So we speeding. So we had the license plate light on. One of them was out. But she had caught a ticket for that like a year before. So it's kind of like the end of like literally like almost like right past the year anniversary. So when she had got that shit, so he goes back to his car. My fault. I gave him my registration because she couldn't find her copy of it. So I gave him the registration because it's my car. And I didn't even realize it. I gave him the expired one. Now my shit's up to date, but I never changed the joint that I'm holding on to. I took a copy of it so my girl could have a copy of it in her car, and I went to hold on to the original. Lo and behold, my shit was still on the scanner. And I had made the copy for all this time, and I didn't realize it. Gave him an expired one. He comes back to the car, like everything's cool. He's like, I'm not even gonna give y'all a ticket for the light. Young dude, young cop, you know what I'm saying? And I think the dynamic of the car threw him off because I'm black, my girlfriend's white, and then my kid's Hispanic.
Yeah.
He's just like,
he looked at he said, yo, this is overload. I don't even know whose ass to whoop right now. He says, yo, I don't understand what section of Twitter I'll be on if something happens.
Like y'all look like the biracial families on commercials.
Yeah.
Like they can't be up to nothing wrong right now. But no, he let us go. He let us go with a warning, didn't even give us a ticket for the light. And then I didn't realize till I got back home that I had gave him the expired drive. Like he could have really been a dick about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we definitely with cops and dickheads, we definitely pointed out on the show. I gotta give a shout out. I didn't get his name, but shout out to the officer that pulled us over because he definitely could have been a dickhead that day. What else happened? Oh, you know what I want to ask you about? My daughter had told me mentally, right? Because we're 30-something years old. We still young enough to remember our elementary, junior high school, all them years. So my kid, she's having a party. She was telling me people that she's inviting that want to come. And she told me this girl's name. And my memory correlates that girl with being like a wild girl from back in the day. Yeah. So I'm like, I went to elementary school with one of those. so she said something so coming. I'm like, whoa, what neighborhood she living? I'm like, but like, I don't know, like it's hard to, I was gonna ask you when you were choosing your son's name. I don't know if it was ever like a thing where like because your son's young, so I don't think he has it's not like he has friends where you'd be like, yo, if he hangs out with a kid of this name, you should be like, oh wait, I remember Jason that was a wild boy or some shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If when you were choosing names, if it was hard to get out of that mentality of people that you knew with that name already.
No, I mean, my son's name, and I don't really know anybody personally who has it, but I don't think I thought about that. I think mostly what we were thinking about is like, I mean, me personally, just what would come off the tongue nicely, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think about what's common. I didn't think about all the resume stuff. I was just like, pick a name that just rings to us pretty much. Like his name don't mean nothing. Like it doesn't mean, kind warrior or nothing like that.
I remember my girl would tell me, she'd be like, throw out a name. She'd be like, she said, I think like Corey. She's like, yeah, how you think about Corey? And I'm like, I knew a wild Corey back in the day.
I mean, there's always a wild Corey. Corey's a name. It's interesting because Corey's a name.
In the hood with some wild boys.
Corey's in the hood with some wild boys. So now Corey's in the world. Either they some old Rhodes Scholar or they wild boys. I never knew a Corey who was just mediocre. Like you just bugged out. Like you like, yo, Corey coming. Like you don't ask which Corey, but I think I'm gonna head back home because Corey. See, to the world, Corey's like an innocent name. Like, yo, Corey's a name of success. Cory Booker and all.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah, because Corey from Boy Meets World. But if you come from the hood, man, Corey is always a wild boy.
Your mom's like, you hanging out with who?
Yeah, Corey.
They treat Corey like a last name. They're like,
yeah,
Corey's.
Them Corey. Yo, there's a crew full of Corys. You already know, man. There's some plot going on.
I thought it was just me. See. Nah, but it's hard to get out that mode. Like my daughter would definitely tell me some names. I'd be like, all right, she sound cool. I know a cool Brittany.
Yeah.
Nah, it should be great. What's going on in the news this week? Oh man, we lost Coolio, man. Rest in peace to Coolio, bro. I didn't know Coolio had such like pop culture shit, but he was in a lot of reality shows. I come to find out.
I didn't know that, but I mean, all I know is that his hit was in the Gangsta's Paradise was so huge, like the way it hit. The joint was like school songs when they do a chorus, like a spring concert. We sang that joint, and like nobody thought like this is a Gangsta's Paradise, but the joint was just so melodic. It was, and the fat sweaty dude in the video was crazy. They even put like, oh, Coolio featuring this dude. That's to show how powerful Coolio is.
They disrespect the features in the 90s, crazy.
Oh yeah.
Shorty from Bone Thugs and Harmony had to say her own name on the song.
Yeah, mad time.
Thuggish Rugged Bone.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas gonna pay me. Even Missy said, y'all ain't just gonna have me singing the hook. Word. Bell somebody.
Yeah, man. I
One
think
thing about Gangsta's Paradise though, Michelle Pfeiffer gave him a rest in peace shout out. I was like, did y'all actually interact? Like I'm like, Coolio ain't in the movie. He ain't in what's the shit called? Dangerous Minds, right? I'm like, you ain't
Dangerous Minds. Yeah, I think, but I guess he's so tied. That song's so tied to the movie, and the movie's so tied to the song. Like, I feel as if I don't know what older kids and adults felt like back then, but I felt like the song, like they go together. I wouldn't be interested in one without the other. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be interested in the movie and like this song. Like it's just like they living in the Gangsta's Paradise. His teacher comes in. I guess she fixes stuff. I don't know what she does for these kids.
She teaches them poetry, of course.
Yeah.
That's the only way to fix it in the hood.
Word up.
Yo, top 10 90s verses? Coolio go hard. I don't know if he wrote it, but he go hard, bro. He go hard on that shit, bro.
But as far as death, I think the impact, what impacted me is how, so now that as you get older, you just math, just life, you're just gonna know more and more people who've passed away. You know what I'm saying? Whether they were close to you or just like they were a part of like your upbringing, whether you knew them personally or not, pop culture, whatever. Also, he was younger than I would have thought, but he didn't even hit 60 yet.
Rappers can't make it out their 50s, bro.
Yeah.
That shit gets scary, bro. It was kind of like the 27 club. A lot of people die at 27. For rappers, you can't. I'm like, yo, Coolio almost made it to 60. You almost made it out, bro. And heart attack. He's like, yo, damn, bro. But it just shows you gotta take care of yourself in your 30s and your 40s to thrive in your 50s and your 60s. And I don't know if enough of our community takes that as serious as we should. I'm also starting to look at hip hop in a way where I'm like, I don't know, like it's just a hypocritical kind of thing, like just the way that we made money. Like it came up this week with Academics. And we're gonna go back to the Coolio thing, but like DJ Academics called I think he called Lil Wayne's daughter a bitch, and it was like you can't call her a bitch. He's a wild boy. He just calls Megan Thee Stallion. He told, you know what I'm saying, but to his, I'm not defending DJ Academics. I don't think you should call her a bitch. But people was like, you can't call her a bitch. I'm like, Lil Wayne calls women bitches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, where's this hypocritical? Like, they be hypocritical about it now. Or he said something that LL Cool J had said something because he referred to a certain pioneer rap as being dusty. He was talking about a specific dude, but a lot of LL Cool J took umbrage with it and was like, yo, like, the way we talk about a lot of our pioneers is a reflection of how the record industry was. We was fresh out the projects. We didn't have accountants, So it was called somebody dusty. It's like, and you're living off of what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Basically back then. But then I also can hear where DJ Academics is coming from, but that's hypocritical because hip hop is based off of, I got more money than you. You're corny because you don't got what I got. You don't dress fly. You don't do this and that. So it's like this weird hypocritical nature. And to bring it back to Coolio, it's like, all right, well, let's smoke weed. Let's drink fucking Hennessy, let's fucking drink 40s and do what we're gonna do. But let's know that shit gonna catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? And heart failure, heart problems. You know what I'm saying? Addiction problems. You see it with DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have just weird diseases like that, diabetes. I think Fife Dog died or something like that. So you know what I mean? Like there are consequences to all your actions. You know what I'm saying? And as people that consume the culture, we gotta point this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Even me and Niche was on live this week on Instagram, and I was just like, yo, I feel sometimes when she was saying the baby, she don't really mess with the baby because of comments he made, because of the way he talks about women. She don't really play his music like that. And she was a fan of his at some point. And I was like, yeah, there's certain records from female rappers that I guess I can't front. I do play them, but sometimes I'm like, yo, am I sending out the wrong message to young females, being the father of a young female? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, these girls are talking about some crazy shit on this. And she took a little way like, well, why just the females? Because the dudes are saying shit too. But I'm like, because there's a lot of dope female rappers out there that don't get no shine unless they talking about their pussy or their ass or their tits or what it all could do for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think we got to get out this hypocritical nature in hip hop. And I don't know if we could, because I think just a lot of things in life are just hypocritical. But it's you got to, I guess, separate. You could be an entertainer, but don't that rock and roll lifestyle. That shit could catch up to you. Now I don't know what happened to Coolio. I think I said it was a heart attack or some sort, but and then who knows? You know, it could have just been his time. Maybe he was living healthy, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think he was supposed to die at 59, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah. Even like Bob Saget died from an accident in his 60s, and it was like, yo, he was too young for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like, yo, I want to see our pioneers live on. So I'm hoping this next generation of rappers, damn, LL Cool J's like, no, LL Cool J was in the game young. I'm trying to think. He might be older than Coolio. But you know what I'm saying? I do want to see these next generation of rappers, I guess, take it a little bit. And you see it now. A lot of rappers take mental health serious. A lot of rappers take what they eat a little bit more serious than they used to, or in what they consume. So rest in peace to Coolio. Definitely will be. Did you know Coolio before Gangsta's Paradise?
Hell no. I did.
Nah?
Not at
You
all.
never
I mean,
heard, Fantastic Voyage?
I knew it, but like I didn't know the name of because it's not like back then you didn't have Spotify. So unless you bought the CD or you happen to really look at the beginning and end of the video where they put the credits like Fantastic Voyage by Coolio, like, I didn't connect the name of it was such a vibe, the song. I'm like, I don't care who made it. Like, this shit is fire. But
MTV definitely showed him a lot of love.
That's I didn't know until after Gangsta's Paradise, but that's the Fantastic. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah.
Like feeling it. I didn't know it was Jay-Z until whatever followed that, whatever big song.
Can't Knock the Hustle, probably.
Right. Yeah.
No, yeah. MTV is probably the only reason I know Coolio like that, because they showed him hella love. I remember Fantastic Voyage, and he had another song, Too Hot, where I think he was talking about AIDS and people getting like diseases, like STDs and shit like that. So that shit got a lot of spin on MTV too. Shit, man. You know, we gotta switch things up right now and take it to one of my favorite segment, man. Have you heard? I get them headlines and I bring them to the table to see if my dog Keith has heard. All right, first up, man. Rihanna's headlining the Super Bowl.
I heard it. I didn't even think it was like true. I just saw I think she posted a picture or some shit like that. But that's crazy, because that I feel as if like she know what she's doing. Like, that's the most anticipated shit. Like, I can't say ever, but in a long time, like, it has a lot of anticipation behind it. Like, because if there's anything we see all the shit she's accomplishing like 30 times more than we could have, we expected a lot from her, but she's way surpassed that. But like, we're like, man, sure would like to hear some music from Rihanna. And she doesn't have to. That's the thing. Like, but she is, and she's doing it on the biggest music stage in the
Years
world.
ago, she did say that she would never do a Super Bowl to show solidarity with Colin Kaepernick, but I mean, and that was during the tenure of Rock Nation's collaboration with the NFL. But it has since switched her tune, and a lot of people speculate that she will have a project to drop with it. But like you said, she don't even have to drop music. It could be a Fenty Savage release.
She just do a fashion show if she'll overperform.
But no, yeah, she's dope. A lot of people are excited for it. A lot of people excited to see. I like how it was so who has Jay-Z got? Jay-Z got Beyonce on there. Jay-Z got J-Lo on there. Snoop and Dre, now Rihanna getting a lot of his peoples on there, his friends. You know, they're definitely I like that. Like Jay's like, yeah, it's nepotism. Right in front of y'all face. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because you think if maybe him and Kanye's relationship would have been a little bit crazy, like he would have slid Kanye in there by now.
Yeah.
Kanye just definitely, like, you know, anything he says gets clicks, gets eyes, gets attention. But he's just, I guess, too crazy of a character to know what he's gonna come with on the stage.
I would imagine there's a lot of administrative shit that comes with doing the Super Bowl. Like, people always talk about it. Like J-Lo talked about it. Like, you know, she didn't really feel like doing it with Shakira, and there's some this business stuff that goes along with it. So to do it with Kanye is probably complex.
No, he's canceling every other day. He's like, I'm not doing this. They make it. He's tweeting about it every other day. It's gonna be like a fucking headache until the show comes. Dre and Snoop said they almost walked out like 2 days before it because they just felt some type of. I think somebody said something to them or they wanted them to cut something out. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, we was about to walk away, but Jay-Z is the only reason we did it.
That's crazy.
Now definitely big news for Rihanna. Something that I want to see happening. Keith, have you heard? There's been some arrests in the murder of rapper PNB Rock.
Nah, I didn't hear about that. Well, what they find?
Man, this is a real sad story, and it gets even sadder. Basically found out it was a father and son that committed the robbery. The father was the getaway driver, and the son was the one who actually murdered him. And now I guess the kid's mother has also been arrested for charged with accessory after the fact.
Which kid's mother?
So Freddie Trone is the father. He was the getaway driver.
Of what? Okay, got it. Of the actual gunman.
Yeah, the gunman was his son.
Okay.
And, you know, once his son left, they got in the car together. And they were actually in the parking lot when PNB had pulled up, proving that it wasn't anything that was tweeted by his girlfriend or on Instagram that his girlfriend posted. Seen him go in there, committed second-degree robbery, and then they arrested a woman connected with accessory after the fact. I believe it was the kid's mother because she was aware of it.
The gunman's mother.
Yeah, the gunman's mother.
Gotcha.
So, and the father, Freddie Trone, is still on the loose as of Friday. He's considered armed and dangerous, and anyone who sees him should call 911 immediately.
How old is the shooter?
17.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It's like a sad case. It's getting even sadder, bro. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, clearly the obvious sadness of it is somebody losing their life and somebody shooting a person, but then like it was a family affair like that. That's crazy, bro. Like,
you don't even want to think about the conversation in the car. Like, your father hands you a gun and like, go handle that.
Yeah,
like nigga, this ain't above the rim.
yeah. That's crazy sad. It reminded me of and there's probably so many stories about like this where the family is a worse influence than even in, like, he was better off in the streets, like in a crazy way, like, than with his family. Yeah. And it reminds me of in Brooklyn when some lady thinks that she was disrespected by McDonald's staff, called her son up, and the son came and killed one of the workers at McDonald's.
Shot him,
yeah. So it was something like, I don't know, she felt her fries are cold or something, like, nah, I fixed my fries. And they're like, come on, man, get out, like, now you just messing with us, whatever. And she's like, and then they probably started laughing, and she held up her phone to like FaceTime with her son, her adult son. And he said, what? Say no more. Came up and then started tussling with one of them and then shot him. And then the dude died some days later.
Not to get on subject, but McDonald's be having some wild fight. Like we had on last episode, me and Spec did. There was that axe. You seen that dude with the axe? Yeah, I don't know if you seen that viral video.
Nah, I didn't see that.
This dude gets snuffed by like 4 kids in there. You don't know what's happening. He might have disrespected the girl that they was with or something like that. And they all like snuff, like they all like just start like lumping them up. But they're not really hurting them. They just all like getting shots on him. And he's like, I'm still standing. And then they let him walk back over to his book bag. I don't know why. And then one of them like tries to come close, see what he's putting on his book bag. My man pulls out an axe. They're like, oh, whoa. And he just starts wilding out, just starts chopping mad shit up. He snuffs one of them, like he smacks one of them in the back of the head like 3 times, and then he goes in the girl's face. He's like, these niggas is pussy. Them niggas anyway is pussy. Well, he do it for mad long. And I'm just like, it was funny because I was looking for that fight because Nisha showed me the video originally. I see mad other McDonald's fights.
That's crazy. When you search, you search, and then like for the joint that you think that's unique, and then you just find like a list, and you gotta scroll down to like the 3rd page to find the one.
I seen a dude, he got a bag in one hand, and he on the soda in the bag in one hand, and he was snuffing the nigga with the other, but he don't drop his soda the whole time. And I think he got like church shoes on, like clubs, like he came out the club or some shit.
Yo, it's crazy how notorious McDonald's is from any hood. Yeah, like I mean, not even just the hood, like just all over the world probably got at least one McDonald's where crazy shit happens.
Yeah, Specs say they do have a problem, and then I was like, yo, I remember when the old neighborhood he used to live in right around the corner from me was a McDonald's. That shit closed every day at 3 because there's a high school right around there. They was like the kids keep coming every day, and they like they meet there to fight. Let's meet at McDonald's to fight or some crazy shit. So.
Well, when we went to junior high school, like the McDonald's at the Flatbush Junction was, like that was the spot. But oh, a fight happened. Oh, word, all right. You don't ask where at. You just go to McDonald's. You get there a little bit early, get you some McNuggets, and then you hang out outside and wait for the scrap to happen.
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but I feel like years later, way after we were there, somebody like died over there or some shit like that. Or...
I wouldn't doubt it, man. It's the intersection just of a lot of high schools. I feel like it's just a central location. It was like the Barclays for evil shit before the Barclays.
When you work at McDonald's, man, that's what happens, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, but back to the PNB shit. Definitely, like, I think it was so stupid that I think the LAPD actually came out and said that they think that maybe his girlfriend posted might have been part of it. That's super irresponsible on their part. To release that as a statement. But they may have really thought that because they probably have a lot of police on social media. So they're just going off what people are saying. But it's just like that's irresponsible. That you could put that girl's life at risk. He probably did put her life at risk, you know what I mean? So on top of her going through a traumatic event at the time. So that's a little nutty. And the kid's a minor, but I doubt he's gonna be charged as a minor in this PNB case.
Yeah, I mean, he's 17. He's old enough to get the book thrown at him.
In cold blood, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to PNB. And the crazy thing is, this is such a tragic case. It's not even but it's not gonna get the attention because PNB isn't like as big as a Pac or Big or you know what I'm saying, like any other rapper that has gotten shot. You know what I'm saying, like that tragic.
Or Nipsey.
Yeah, Nipsey, exactly. So it's just like, but this is on a lot of levels just sad, and you know, a lot of things have to change in our neighborhoods, in our environment. There's got to be known you don't just shoot somebody for jewelry. Like it's crazy. That's savage shit. You know what I'm saying? But we got to bring that back to being a social norm.
I mean, his parents orchestrated it, so it's like, how is he going?
How could you stop it, right? Oh man, Keith, have you heard? Richard Dolezal got the OnlyFans.
I did hear. That's I mean, like, I think it was leaked though. I don't think like she, or is it hers? Or I think she may have like done it and then like forgot to take it down, like some shit like that. Like
I heard someone posted it. Someone was like, "Yo," and then the caption was like, "Rachel Dolezal got OnlyFans now" or something like that. And that's kind of how they. That's how I heard it to get leaked. I wouldn't put it past that she was part of it though. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. I mean,
she's had it since the beginning of 2022. Possible it wasn't getting the love he wanted to get, so she was like, "All right, well, let me do something to get it out there." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn, man. Life is definitely a crazy thing. I mean, just whatever pushed her to they got this thing called passing. It's usually when like somebody who's black but so fair skinned that they could pass for white, they just roll around life as if they're white.
Not correcting people necessarily.
Right. And they may even push that out there. I mean, it's an old school thing because like racism may have been so bad. They're like, man, I'd rather anything other than this. Let me pass for white. I'm light enough to do so or whatever.
Yeah.
And but she reverse passed where she passed as black for years, so much so that she got a leadership.
She did it behind the back pass.
She did it behind She did the 360, the reverse dunk on people. She passed as black, I guess, fairly successfully for some time. So much so that she like was in the local NAACP somewhere there in the Pacific Northwest where she was at.
High ranking position too, right?
Yeah. And then she was outed. And then I could imagine that she probably, it ruined her career or whatever she was doing for work.
She wrote a book.
She wrote a book?
Yeah.
Did it sell?
Doubt it.
Doubt it. Yeah, I mean, she has to do weird shit like celebrity whatever to make cash, but I wonder
there's also been
a celebrity.
There's been other people that have been called out for the same thing. I think there was like like an Indian tribal organization. There was somebody who was running it, like indigenous people organization that was actually a white person. So there have been other examples which might have kind of took the steam away from her story anyway. What I will say is Rachel Dolezal is, an older woman, if I'm not mistaken, in her 40s, maybe older than that.
And you said an older woman in her what? I thought you was gonna hit me with like 60s or something.
Well, I don't know how old she is. I'm being generous with saying the 40s, but I think she she could be in her 50s. You know what I'm saying?
She's an older woman, just in the sunset of life, in the dusk of life, just waiting for the sweet reaper to come.
Well, that's the thing. There's a time and place where at 40 years old to start a porno career, so to speak, if that's what you consider
porn.
Yeah, but nowadays it's not that uncommon, right? There's a lot of women that get into it in the MILF category, in the cougar category, I guess. So it's like it's not as few and far between as it used to be. But yeah, I mean, she's looking okay for her age. I think that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, okay. She's looking whatever her age is.
Whatever that age is,
she's a woman of a certain age. How old is she? She's a woman of a certain age. What year she was born? 1983. What?
She won the Golden Girls, man. Wow. She's doing okay for us. But you know what's crazy now, though, that you really think about it? It's like, I think as dudes, I mean, I don't know if another platform may come out where we feel this type of pressure, but as a woman, that could use some extra money and you get a lot of attention from guys, it's like, it's very tempting to probably monetize that, you know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, especially if when you just weigh all the options, it just makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes dollars and it makes sense. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know how successful it was for her, but I was listening to a podcast where they were kind of roasting Rudy Giuliani for doing Cameo. Are you familiar with Cameo? Cameo is you familiar with it? It's where a celebrity could get on and just record like a 30-second clip for like a regular civilian person. And, you pay a certain amount of money, you could get Alfonso Ribeiro to be like, hey, happy birthday, Keith. Hope everything is good.
Cisco did one for Niche because she sampled this song. So she used the
right.
Cameo.
Right. So they roasted him. Like, he's reduced himself to doing cameo videos. But I'm like, yo, you could make bread off of doing those. Like, I guess it's because we knew him as America's mayor and stuff like that. But like, if you're not exactly getting hired and your businesses aren't successful, it's like, why not do Cameo to make some bucks? And if you can make a good amount of money for each of your cameos, why not?
Well, that's the Mr. Beast effect. I think probably before we recorded, we were talking about a Mr. Beast interview that I watched earlier this week, and he's he actually is the top YouTuber on YouTube, top revenues earning, top hours watched, all that shit. But what he's done, not him, but what YouTube has caused is like, you can be a celebrity making cake, and there's a generation of people who correlate celebrity with being on network television, with being on a television show, with being so if, for instance, you see the girl from Euphoria and you be like, oh shit, they're gonna show you from, like, any girl, just pick a random character, like, oh, they're gonna show you from Euphoria, she's making bread. But I seen an interview with one of the characters from Euphoria. It's like, we don't really make that much money. I got a 1-bedroom apartment, you know what I'm saying, like that. But you think because she's on HBO, meanwhile there'd be a YouTuber that you never even heard of, and you be like, yo, why are people on this nigga's dick when he walked through Walmart, and this nigga's making like 100,000 a month, you know what I'm saying? So that's what YouTube has caused, to the point where who's the chick that plays Miss Marvel, Brie Larson? Like, she got a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that YouTube channel is bringing in steady monthly revenue. She uses her celebrity to get people to come to her YouTube channel, and then uses the revenue from that. So it's just like, you can't get mad at Rudy Giuliani, because Rudy Giuliani's like, there was a point in my life where I probably had to work hours to make this type of money. Now I just be like, yo, Rudy Giuliani's, he's showing up places and got paid for it. What is different? Yeah. Now it's better for him to turn on the camera and do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, like,
he's got bills. He's got bills. So like, he's been divorced a couple times, and all kinds of legal trouble.
Bro, trust me. The second somebody is like, yo, perfect talk, we're gonna pay y'all a certain amount of money to get shit. We're gonna be up here like Blue Chew. Yeah. Yep. Is your dick off? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, bro, we was up here for fun. So somebody's gonna pay us $500 to take 30 seconds to talk about something, as long as it doesn't go against our morals and shit like that, or whatever we stand for, we probably gonna do it. I feel some type of way sometimes when I see NBA athletes talking on Hennessy commercials. I'm like, where'd that come from? You know what I mean? But I can't knock it. I'm not paying Russell Westbrook's checking how many more checks does he have coming in based off of the NBA. So get that bag while you can. You know what I'm saying? So you can't knock it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
But shout out to Rachel Dolezal, and I don't knock that either. I mean, it's easy to make fun of, but I don't knock that Rachel Dolezal shit. Like, make your money, but it's what makes it difficult is I'm raising a young lady that I want to raise to use her mind, and just because you are beautiful, don't rely on that or don't disrespect yourself like that. So it's hard when you see it kind of becoming a social norm for women to show themselves scantily clad or even naked or doing sexual activities to make money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And money that maybe a regular job can't offer them, or money that the shit I would tell them to go do isn't going to bring it. You know what I mean? They're not going to get that from the job I'm going to go tell them to do. So it's just like, it's a catch-22.
Yeah, I think in an inclusive society is very difficult to accept certain things because like to take your clothes off or to kind of be seductive on camera for money in that way and for people to on purpose be objectified, I think people took some of the stigma away from it, and for most families that ain't normal. And like we have to acknowledge that it's not normal. You don't toss those people, cast them out of society. However, you have to acknowledge like that ain't normal, and that's not how you would want your kid to be known and say, oh, if my kid became a sex worker, that would be great. And I would support them. And no, you wouldn't.
It just sounds good to say, right? Because you don't want to.
Yeah, you want to be inclusive, or you want to sound inclusive, but you have to acknowledge like that's abnormal. It's like probably lucrative, but
it's definitely like let the migrants in when you don't got to live in a border state.
Right. Yeah,
it's like the migrants is living in your house now.
Or integrate schools. There's people who gentrify a neighborhood, like, yeah, you should integrate schools, and then all these progressive things, and then next thing you know, their kids in a private school that's all white. So.
Yeah, everybody, we all hypocrites, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's the way of the world, man. Have you seen Tua Tagovailoa? I probably mispronounced his last name, but you know who he is.
Hell yeah, you mispronounced that name. Man. Everybody with an ethnic name, you the whitest school teacher ever, man. Let's see. Let me got Tua Tagliacelli.
Tua T. Where you at?
Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, you talking about the concussion. Yeah, that was horrible. Wish I didn't see it. Man.
For y'all who didn't see Tua, actually, I believe he's playing Buffalo Bills. He caught one 4 days prior to the one that we're referring to, where he got up a little bit wobbly. Probably should have went in concussion protocol and sat out. Meanwhile, they kept him in, had a game 4 days later, which is already dangerous to begin with, and let him play in that game. And your man caught a slam to the ground. He was like one of those tackles where, someone kind of like whips your whole body down to the ground, laying on his head.
His head. Immediately smashed the turf.
Exactly. And immediately did like kind of put his hands towards his head area. Didn't touch his head though, but put his hands up, and then his fingers started to do some weird like
a hard contraction.
Yeah, looked like it. Like even his man's at first, like I think was gonna reach his hand out to him at first, and it was like, oh shit, I didn't like what's happening here, and then they start bugging out, telling people to come over, but it's just like it was painful to watch. I mean, I've had a pretty bad head injury when I was a real little kid, so shit like that just automatically gives me like shit. But just the reaction afterwards, and it's how mechanic it was, like head hit, the hand went up, and then you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people do stuff like that, or you see UFC knockouts where the dude gets knocked out and his arm just keeps going up because he thinks he's still fighting back, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Yeah. He thinks like you're about to come. Yeah, so it's just like it does kind of it is painful to watch, and it is a bad reminder. As much as we love the NFL and watching football, like how violent of a sport it is, how dangerous it is.
Hell yeah, man! That right there is fucking just channeled a lot of athletic kids into lacrosse, man, because that shit was nasty.
Yeah,
I mean, not that alone. Just looking at the track record, especially in recent history, now that we're actually paying attention, and then also we get to see clips, even if you're not an avid football fan, like news clips. Like I think what's the guy's name? Demarius Thomas. He passed away, but they found out he had CTE, and like just the behavior of people. Like
he died from seizures too. He died from he died from a seizure.
Crazy. And Aaron Hernandez, like his behavior and just
the movie Concussion, everything we learned from that.
Concussion, Junior Seau, it's just the list is long, and it's just crazy to think about. And like, if you have a kid, even soccer, they saying like just butting the ball, like doing the head strike or whatever. Yeah, the headers. That's a thing, and then it's more impactful to girls and stuff like that.
I didn't know that. Oh yeah, I definitely like heard something about that. They even like
I don't know the proof behind it, but they say like girls are equipped with like more of like a frontal lobe, like it's more developed up here. So like, since it's, I guess it's more matter, like it's more impactful because like there's more material up here to damage.
That could be damaged.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. It's just it's a violent sport. It also makes you think with Tom Brady, the Aaron Rodgers of it all. Like those dudes are a little bit older. Tom Brady obviously older, but like they just dropped. Yeah. Them dudes like Peyton Manning, they just dropped. Like you got to study that too. Like you got to be like, nigga, it's done. Live to fight another day. Like drop. Like why you get? And I think what happens with quarterbacks is they got to kind of patty cake them so much that you're scared to get rough in the passer. You scared so you don't really hit them. These niggas think they playing football. Like, nah, you ain't playing football until they get a clean hit on you, bro. That's that's your first football game. The second they get a legal hit where they gonna make you feel it, that's you're not playing football till you get that. And that's what they see, that they can get a legal hit on you, they're gonna rock you. You a small dude too.
I think with the increased value of a mobile quarterback, we're just talking about quarterbacks now. All players are in danger, with like particularly with quarterbacks, like and I think with the value increasing, they're like, all right, I mean, my legs is my bread and butter, so I'm gonna keep running. I'm gonna try to evade, and even if I see a tackle, maybe I'll try to give him a juke, but maybe you get slammed from the blind side or whatever it is. But there's some mobile quarterbacks that learn early, like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Like you see, like they run if they could juke the shit out of people, but if they don't have to, they won't. And if they see somebody even come within 10 yards of them, they down. They go, they're like, I'm not even letting you launch yourself.
Yeah, they're 350 pounds.
Yeah. and run like 40 miles an hour. If you see a dude in the streets 350 pounds, you got to get violent with him. You're like, oh, I'm running. He can't catch me. Yeah. These dudes will catch you. In fact, they'll fuck around with you. They'll catch up to you, run past you, and then run back to fuck your whole shit up.
Nigga moving like the black dude from Get Out.
Yeah, exactly. just run like an ostrich, just running around. What you doing, man? Come on.
Oh man, but Tua, I have heard he's he's in the hospital, but he's probably out by now.
Yeah, he's back in Miami.
Okay, awesome. But they did say he was talking again. And he was. When I heard that he wasn't up and about, but I imagine by now he might be up and about. So, but just the fact, that's crazy, bro. Like, like hold your head up and move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Same way I told rappers, move accordingly, quarterbacks out there, especially small quarterbacks. I think this is my height. Move accordingly, bro.
Yeah.
This is unrelated, but I guess along the same lines, because it has to deal with brain trauma, man. On the Keith, have you heard on a recent episode of the Kardashians, it was found that Khloe Kardashian has suffered brain trauma, suspected to be from the treatment she's received from boyfriend Tristan Thompson. So basically,
he's abusive?
No, brain trauma from him cheating on her, and then
like
publicly having to find out about it, because she found out about him cheating, I think both times, on social media. So
you mean like the stress just kind of like was so. That's crazy. I'm like, man, like how much of a piece of shit, like yeah, like at first you're like, man, he's like a piece of shit, but like a piece of shit that we're not that's not surprising or not world changing. Like, oh, he cheated. Or I think he kissed the first thing we learned, he kissed Jordan Woods. And then like it's like, yo, this dude got a kid outside the relationship. I'm like, God damn. Now, if you was to tell me he's physically abusive, I'm like, God damn, like that's crazy.
this nigga a super athlete. Cheating, beating, he's doing it all. Kids inside a relationship.
Just everything that's terrible about athletes. Like you think this motherfucker got CTE or something.
Fucking Boston Celtics coach, like, look at Tristan Thompson, get this attention on me.
Word up, man.
Nah, but because I've been cheated on before, you know what I'm saying? I've even been broken up with, you know what I'm saying, publicly. So both of those separately have just hurt. So I can't imagine, you know what I'm saying, the times 1,000 of being her social media influence, of her mom having a TV show where the cast of the show and the people that film it heard about it when she heard about it, you know what I'm saying, right? So she got to hear about it right in front of them and shit. And it's just like, that's just whack. She said that she actually was proposed. He proposed to her, and they just didn't announce it already and all that shit. But But the fact that it could cause brain trauma is the biggest thing. It really shows me that these people like this to regular people out there, you know what I'm saying? You might think that you cheat on your girl, it's not that big of a deal. She'll get over it, but you really could be fucking people's heads up. I mean, and you see people's heads get fucked up after getting cheated on, just the way that they move after that. But to know it's actually doing trauma, that's some next level shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, me, you, and Jason had that conversation, you know, in our group text about like just what the impact you had, the negative impact you may have had on people throughout your life, like even when you was a kid, like, you know, you made fun of them a certain way, you said something about one of their physical traits, like you don't know how they carry that with them through life, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, it's fine, but there might be that one person who they just never was able to drop that.
And it might be stuff that we suffer from, our insecurities based off of something someone said to us.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Or like based off of relationships that we've been in, like if you know, your mate might move a certain way, be like, that reminds me of that bitch Jenny from back in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know how this starts, but you can, I guess you can't take that with you. But what I tell people out there is like, respect the people you with, you know what I'm saying? Like, know that this shit could have actual, you know, lasting effects, physical effects. You know, they could affect the way mental effects. Yeah, people get sick when they're dealing with mad stress. People go through a lot of shit. So I mean, like, I always move, and me and Nisha have actually been having a lot of relationship conversations when we go live on Thursday nights. But like, I try to say, like, respect your girl the same way you respect your best homie. Like, I know niggas that cheat on their girl, right? But they were like, I buy weed with my homie. I gotta make sure I give him the exact half and I'll never do my nigga wrong. I'm like, that bitch got your bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? She know your security code, nigga. What you talking about? You should give her the same respect. Is basically what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't like basically we treat our friends better than we treat our mates. And it's like let's give them both the same. Treat your girl the same way you treat your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Don't move like that, because that shit really do fuck chicks heads up and fuck dudes heads up and fuck, you know what I mean? So respect the game, y'all.
Yep.
Keith, another episode in the book, my guy. Always a pleasure doing the episode with you, man. And I appreciate this morning, man. Like I said, I'm fresh off the road, just coming here doing this, but I love this podcast and shit so much. So, man, I appreciate you taking your time. Where can my people find you out on social media, bro?
Instagram, me and my _35.
Right. You can find your man DJ Playboy on Instagram at PLICCAPEEZY, PLICCAPEEZY. Also check me out on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio right there. Make sure you check out our website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. I know I was teasing a couple months ago. I had some website news, and I still do, so stay tuned. One of these days I'll announce it. Also, man, every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is available on the website. You can also check out my radio show, Perfect Talk. My radio show, Money Talks Radio. I do it with my dog, DJ Show, and the night shift is making its return this fall, so look out for that. Every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever your podcasts are available. So make sure you leave a rating, you leave a like, you leave a review. Do what it does, because the algorithm loves that. Also check us out on YouTube. Make sure you follow Perfect Talk, because we are on there podcasting all day, every day. You know how we do things. Keith, what are you watching nowadays on television, brother?
The final season of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, the 5th season, right?
Yeah, 4th, I think.
Maybe
a 5th, something like that. It feels long because it's been dragged out, not dragged, but like they had to skip some years, COVID, and just people becoming super famous. Yeah. So watching the final season of that, so that's dope. It's probably one of the more important shows of my life.
Does Dave still come on FX, or is Dave still a running?
It hasn't been canceled to my knowledge. I don't know when it's coming back.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm a few seasons behind on Dave, and I know.
Isn't it only 2 seasons?
I'm still be on the first season then, because I just started not too long ago though.
Yeah.
But what's going on? I think we're watching on Hulu anyway. But I got to get back in Atlanta. A lot of shit I got to catch up on. Actually, I dumbed out and I we got to cancel one of them. That's how they get you, man. The fucking free trials. Fucking Stars got me for another 3 months, man. I'm like, fuck, I don't even need to be. So I'm about to watch a whole lot of 50 Cent networking while 50 Cent's still available on Stars, because I know that his contract is up too. So
yeah, I copped a year of HBO Max. Like I didn't even want to, but I'm like, $70 for 12 months. I started dividing shit. I'm like, all right, fine.
Y'all better come Gina. For the next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, HBO Max, are you happy now?
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You know what I discovered this week? I don't think it's new, because she got a ton of followers. There's this Instagram influencer called Lil Michaela. I just realized it's not a real person. It's like it's AI. It's like an AI influencer. This shit is crazy, bro. I never seen that.
When I hear shit like that, man, I really become an old grouchy man. That shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. It's like, yo, what hope is there for me? If like this bitch got perfect photos because it's using AI, so it's using like all the fucking like, you know what I'm saying? They probably know what color to make the sky, what angle to do shit at. It's like you can't compete.
Yeah.
like real chicks is trying to compete with an AI chick.
That's crazy.
Yo, but I've heard some scary shit about AI too, like for graphic designers. Like this is shit called Dolly. Graphic people out there probably think mad old with this shit, but some shit called Dolly where you can literally just type in raccoon on a motorcycle, and it'll take all the pictures of a motorcycle and all the pictures of a raccoon, and it'll come up with a picture of a raccoon on a motorcycle that's brand new.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, that shit fucks a lot of shit up for graphic designers, bro. And the shit works fast too. It's already being used in movies. They're making it available and cheaper and all types of shit. So AI is ruining the world. I've come to believe that this week. It will be it's a little scary, man. We talked a couple months ago about the AI rappers, and I seen this shit. I'm like, yo, I'm like hating on the page. I'm like, I'm gonna have to follow this little Michaela bitch. Like, I ain't know this. All right, fuck it.
I mean, if they have AI rappers, that means AI DJs are next, or it probably exists already, and I don't know about it.
Oh, AI podcasters. There are podcasters right now who use AI to produce their show.
That's crazy.
And it's just based off of what they think people want to hear and talk about and shit like that. I just think it's like, yo, so, like, use your brain. You making your brain is fucking better than is the best computer you got. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't like all that. I don't want to be an old scared nigga though, but it's like I don't like all that shit. I don't like that new shit.
I don't want to be an old scared nigga, but let me say exactly what an old scared nigga would say. Your brain is the best computer you got. And I don't trust all that new shit.
Mine is a terrible thing to waste. Get off my lawn.
I mean, I'm hip. I'm hip with it. And I'm with all the new shit, and I got. I was the first nigga with a Commodore 64, but
I don't trust that new shit, nigga. Oh man, but yeah, we up out of here, bro. There's another episode in the books, man. Always a pleasure. Fuck AI. We gonna keep doing our thing out here, man. Say goodbye to the people, bro.
Peace.
Peace.